Hey Hedgies, welcome back. I hope you're well. So today we are doing a delicious recipe. Oh my goodness, if you've never made these little dumplings before, you're going to love this. But I do need to warn you, this is not the kind of meal you want to make when you've just turned up at a campsite. It's raining, the kids are starving, the dog's like doing what dogs do. Like, you cannot be in an environment of stress when you make these little wonton dumplings. You need to be in a really calm place because it does take time to get this food on the table. This is not one of your quick fixes. So please bear that in mind. Enjoy the process, crack open a bottle of wine, get your friends, your family, get the kids involved in making these little wontons. They are so much fun to make, but they're not fun if you're all ravenous. So please, please, please bear that in mind. They can be made ahead. You can refrigerate them. You can even freeze them. You can even cook them from frozen, whatever. There's lots of ways to make them fast food. But to actually start this process and finish it in the same period of time, you're going to need a good hour, maybe an hour and a half, depending how much wine is being drunk. So with all that in mind, we better get cooking. First of all, we're going to heat up some oil. Now, I'm making these vegan. I have no idea why, because I'm not vegan. I'm not even vegetarian. But I figured this one is for my vegan friends out there. So what we're going to do is heat up a little bit of coconut oil, about a dessert spoon there. And let's get this gas on. Now, I originally made this recipe, I think it was 2014. I might be lying, I can't remember, a few years ago anyway. And I originally made it using little dried shrimp, which made the whole dish absolutely delicious. But Johnny doesn't eat seafood, so then I adapted it and I just made it with the vegetable filling. And actually they stood up so well without the shrimp that I thought, kind of, why bother putting the shrimp in? And I actually blogged the vegetarian version. The main vegetable is cabbage. We're using red cabbage today, but you could even use savoy. You could use whatever you like. You could use leek, you could use broccoli, whatever your thing is. But I do think that cabbage is a very underrated vegetable. It's very, very good for you. So you got nothing to lose. There's going to be enough flavour in here that you won't mind eating cabbage, I promise. So this, like I say, is half a red cabbage. This is a lot of filling. This might actually be too much for our packet of wonton wrappers, but to be honest, if there's any leftovers, I'm having them for breakfast tomorrow with a poached egg on top because it's delicious. Now, we don't want to colour this, we don't want to crisp it, we just want to soften it down. So let's get that going. Now we're also going to put in an onion, and to stick with the whole purpley red theme, I'm going with one red onion. You want to finely chop whatever vegetables you use. That is quite important because you need the chunks to be really quite small. I've also got half a bulb of garlic. This was actually 4 cloves of garlic, but they were really big and fat. So I think the original recipe called for 6 cloves. If they're regular size, 6 is fine. If you don't like garlic, then honestly, I don't know what's wrong with you, but each to their own. I guess it's optional if you really don't like garlic. Oh, I forgot to put this camera on. Should we have a little close-up action? Why not? And the other thing we've got going in is ginger. That was about an inch of a fresh ginger root that I grated. And then very slowly just let that soften down and cook. See, I'm chilled out already. It's such a lovely way to cook. Slow food. Actually, what I'm going to do to save gas and to speed this whole process up, where is it? There it is. I'm going to put my lid on as well. And that's just going to hold the heat in. It's going to keep the steam in there, so it's going to soften down the vegetables quicker. That's it. We're going to let that cook. It's probably going to take around 10 minutes, maybe 15. White cabbage and red cabbage are quite hard. If you're using savoy or broccoli, it won't take that long. Just make sure you chop up whatever vegetable you're using really, really small. Now, let's talk wonton wrappers. These, I can't find these in supermarkets. If anyone knows a UK supermarket that stocks them, please let me know, because it does mean I have to go into the city centre and go to an Oriental supermarket to source them. So I always buy a handful of packets. I think I bought 6 this week. So inside each packet, you'll find a whole slab of little squares of dumpling dough. And I mean, you can see that's one. There's lots there. Yeah, doesn't that look beautiful? Such a pretty colour. Right, I'm going to add the spices in now. And all we're going to add is about a teaspoon of Chinese 5 spice and a pinch of chilli. This is my Ninja homegrown hot stuff, so I'm going to put a tiny bit in because it's so hot. Oh, and instantly that Chinese 5-spice, the whole van is filled with the scent of Chinese food. It's beautiful. Okay, that's been about 15 minutes and I have been stirring it every now and then. So have a little taste. That's perfect. There's the slightest bite to it still, but it's absolutely perfect. So we're going to pop it back in the bowl. And you don't need to use a non-stick pan for this, but it will make your life easier if you do. Unless, of course, you don't mind using 2 pans. But as we know, I hate washing up. Okay, there's my dumpling filling, looking and smelling tremendous. Now I'm just going to wipe out my pan. Okay, so let's make our dumplings. So take one of your very thin little pieces of dough and take a teaspoon of the filling, pop that in the middle. And then you want a little bowl of water, or you can use your drinks bottle, just dab your finger in there. Wipe your finger along 2 sides and then fold together to make a triangle. And you want to squeeze those sides shut. Now because you've used water, it means that the pastry or the dough will stick together. So when you come to do the last one, pop it all in and try to make sure there's no air bubbles in there. It's not the end of the world, but in a perfect world there won't be any air trapped in there. Then one more dab on your corner, fold that over and stick those 2 bits together. There is your first dumpling. Now just got 74 million others to do. So there we go, all my little wonton dumplings are made and now I'm going to cook some up. Now because we're making crispy fried, obviously we need to fry ours, so we need to pop some oil in a pan. But there's lots of different ways that you can cook these wonton dumplings or pot stickers or whatever you want to call them. They can be steamed, they can be boiled and served in a soup. They can also be fried and then finished off with a splash of water as well. But we're going to do so they're crispy and golden brown on both sides. But to be honest, whichever way you cook them, they taste delicious. Now the perfect ones are all intact and lovely, but some of them have split a little bit. So these ones are probably going to leak out filling in the pan. So we will cook those ones last. After a minute or 2, flip your little dumplings over and you'll see they're nice and golden brown on the bottom. Oh, they smell so good. Now we're just going to stand them up and give them crispy bottoms. So when they've finished cooking, then just pop them onto some kitchen paper just to drain any oil off and you're ready to serve. Please don't pop them straight into your mouth because they are piping hot. So here's my lovely little dumplings, all cooked, ready to scoff. In this bowl here I've got a little dipping sauce, which is just soy sauce, sesame oil and a little squeeze of sriracha hot sauce, but you could just use chili oil or flakes if you prefer. So let's give them a bash. Quick dunk. Wow, there is a lot going on in there. Beautiful crispy shell. Still a little bit of chewy dough on the inside there. The lovely spiced cabbage centre. The lovely dipping sauce. There is a lot of good flavours going on here, friends. So hopefully you've enjoyed this fun recipe. I've certainly enjoyed sitting here all afternoon making it. It's been lovely. If you fancy giving it a go and you've got any questions, then obviously drop them down below and I'll see what I can do in answering them. Try and find your local Oriental food shop to find the wonton wrappers, or you can probably order them online. They are in the freezer section, they are frozen. So obviously make sure that you've defrosted them before you want to start work on them. You can make lots of other fun fillings. Just give it a quick Google and you'll see that there's seafood ones, there's pork ones, there's vegetarian ones, there's scrambled egg ones, there's all sorts. Lots and lots and lots of options, so please do give them a go. If you like this recipe, then please whack that thumbs up button for me. Feel free to subscribe to my channel because I bring out new videos every Wednesday. So as always, my lovelies, have a great week and I'll catch you all next Wednesday. All the best.